Look at these other podcasts out here with a point. Doing interviews, trying to educate you, or change the world. No, we don't do that here. Here, we look around, see things, go places, do things, and round up the best so you can forget the rest. Here, we rank 'em up.
Hello and welcome into the end of year edition to Rank 'em Up. We've made it to New Year's Eve 2015. Thank you for taking a little time out of your New Year's Eve celebrations, your New Year's Eve weekend, your New Year, if you're listening to this over the weekend, to spend it with us here at Rank 'em Up. Thank you. 2015 has been great. We started this show, and we're happy that you've been along on the ride with us. We couldn't thank you enough for joining us. Don, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I can't believe we're all the way up to episode 19, Craig.
We've made it this far.
Yep.
Looks like we've made it.
Nobody inflicted bodily harm on anybody. And, we all stayed out of trouble.
Look how far we've come.
Exactly. So it's been a long, strange trip.
Ups and downs.
Yeah. Gilberto, how you doing?
There you go.
I'm doing great.
Are you ready for the new year?
I am ready for the new year.
You make your resolutions yet?
No, but I had too much going on this year. So, and you will find out about this. But, this is, I'm excited.
You got a few hours left to think of some.
I do.
You're right.
I feel like this was the hardest one to do for me, but I feel like this was the easiest one to do for you because you had so much.
Oh, God.
You had so much, seriously.
Yeah. Yes.
Lilo, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year, man. Doing good. Wish I had some champagne here, but whatever. Cool.
We're going to pop some Chris after the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pop some Chris. Like a bouse.
Yeah.
Okay. We're old.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we are. And 2016. It's going to be 2016. Can't you believe?
man.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Getting older. Well, this week it's special. We're going to look at things that reminded us of 2015. Things in 10 years when our memory's fading, when we can't remember hardly anything. What are we going to think about in 2015? Don, how can they share with us what they're going to remember of 2015?
All right. If you can get it in 140 characters or, 3, 4, 5 tweets if you want to, go to twitter.com/rankemup or at rankemup on Twitter, RANKMUP, Facebook. Rank 'em Up, go to our show page like that, and you can interact with us. We're all on there. If you like to listen in podcast form, you can obviously do that at iTunes. Go to the podcast app, subscribe, and everything will be dropped into your podcast outbox, and you can give that a go every week. And I love the iTunes podcast app because it does it day by day now. So you're looking forward to it on Friday. You can do what apps are out today. Boom. Every Thursday, you'll know that Rank 'em Out is up. So you go to your Thursday, and it's there, and that's just an easy thing for iTunes podcasts. And if you're if you're of the Android persuasion, like our Asian friend, persuasion,
Asian persuasion,
Lilo, you go to Stitcher. And
Lilo is Asian. You can look at his picture.
Yep, my picture's on our profile.
I just wanted to say that.
I was wondering if that's where you were driving at.
Yeah, exactly. So. Or, you can go to YouTube, you can look at our channel, you can look at all the archives that we've done, all with this one, 19 episodes. May I suggest, go to episode 11, Dead People We'd Like to Have a Beer With, and celebrate the New Year's. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but that was a great episode, highlighted by Gilberto wanting to have a beer with Mussolini. So, whatever. Okay.
What? No!
That may or may not have happened. Right. Go listen to that show and let us know.
That's a teaser. That's a teaser.
This guy.
All right. Well, that's awesome. 2016. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, no kidding. What happened?
Don, why don't you start us off?
At least it's not 2030 yet. How old will I be then? I don't want to think about it. So, obviously, you know a lot about me. Everybody that has been listening all 19 episodes, thank you very much for the faithful listeners. I appreciate you, even if you sometimes take offense to the things I say, which, I call myself an amateur, very, 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 very amateur comedian. So don't take everything I say too seriously, although there will be some serious topics tonight. But for number 5, also I do like sports and I do like Destiny, the video game, a little bit. So
Just a touch.
But the thing I learned in 2015 that I was in denial in 2014 was Peyton Manning. Look, I like him. He took the Broncos to the Super Bowl. He won as many Super Bowls as Craig Thompson did, as Tom Jackson, as many other great Broncos, Bobby Humphrey, Carl Mecklenburg. You know, Peyton Manning is a great Bronco. He'll be in the Ring of Fame. But he cannot play anymore, and I don't want. I root for the numbers on the jerseys, not the names. So, if anything, to me, I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to have that joy when I am of legal age to imbibe on libations and shoot fireworks off. Even though we'll probably get terrorist charges brought against us if we did that. Over Super Bowl weekend now, not like when I was a kid and we did it. Super Bowl 32, one of the top 5 nights of my schoolboy life, and except if you don't count dances. And we just know, man. Look, Peyton Manning is through. I didn't want to admit it. It wasn't just injuries last year. He can't throw the ball. For the betterment of the Broncos. I don't know what it's going to be like. I hope the Broncos are 13-2 heading into the Chargers, hosting the Chargers game this weekend. And we were going for the number 1 seed because if we win out, we get the number 1 seed. So it's I was in denial. I'll be the first to say it. I was in denial. Peyton Manning is done. Let's go Broncos. We want to win the Super Bowl. We don't want to. We're not. We're running a business. We're not running a friendship. Peyton Manning, thank you for your service. And by the way, you still get a ring if we win. And if that's what's the most important thing to you is the ring, then you should just do what's best for the team. Defer to Brock. Brock on. And you don't want to say any Brock puns, Craig? I'm very surprised that you don't want to say.
I'm waiting for you.
Okay, great. And look, Peyton, hey, man, be a coach. Oh, it's kind of a suspect that you don't want to travel with the team, even though you say you want to help him, although you don't want to travel with him. But whatever. So that's one of my top 5 moments is I'm a huge Broncos fan. For the Super Bowl in New York when we went, I had to watch it in my room. And if you have a TV like mine, you can like blank out the screen and just listen to the sound. That's what I did because I turned off all the lights in my room. I blanked the screen out. I just listened to the sound. I got my hopes back up for the second half kickoff, and then I cried myself to sleep that night. And I don't want to do that again, Peyton Manning. So you know what? Just accept it. Let's Brock. You know what? Let's go Brock, and I'm behind him, and let's do it. Thank you.
2015, the year the Manning died.
All right.
Brock on.
Brock out with our QB out.
Oh boy! All right. Well,
I feel like I need to give better segues to Caberto. That's what I'm going to work on for next show.
Thank you.
Maybe that'll be your resolution.
Yeah, my resolution is
that's a good one.
set Caberto up, but he refuses to show me his list, so I can't really
rank him up resolution.
Mine are always, my lists are always heartfelt. I try to make them as honest as possible and as connecting to our people as possible. Maybe I open up too much, maybe. So
that's why you're the fan favorite, Caberto.
Your only problem is you love too much.
You're really stuck in a Brock at a hard place.
All right.
That was 11% pity laugh. It was good. It was good.
That was good. No, that was a good one.
I messed it up a little bit. So that's probably why.
You stumbled. Yeah. The delivery, but it was all right.
So
all right, take 2. Go ahead,
2015. Yes, please.
No, go ahead.
Are you crying?
No. It just sounds like that. But you know what? 2015 was a year where I set aside a lot of hobbies I did because I had so much going on, not just in my head, in my heart, and all around me. So I will remember 2015 as being the year of decision making for me. I went through so many internal moral battles. Yeah, I was depressed. I was stressed out for the first half of the year. I am thin speaking physically, and I lost a lot of weight because of that. At the middle of the year, I chose to take the path of my values and it turned out to be the right one. So I am 15 pounds heavier. You can see it in my cheeks I have a smile on my face because I am happy. And this is the year, and that's my number 5. The year of decision making is where I will remember 2015 of being
The year of the bear toe.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, my number 5 seems a little inconsequential at this point.
Jeez. Okay, I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, we're starting real heavy, guys. Real heavy.
Mine is going to be in
Yeah, well, I tend to let's see. I don't have a very good memory for things, and especially dates, times of year, that kind of stuff. My wife, she can remember everything, which is great because I can't remember birthdays. I can't remember any of that stuff. I tend to remember things in reference to sports years. 2010. I know what happened that year. Rapids win the MLS Cup.
Yep.
1997. Oh, Broncos' second Super Bowl. You know what? I remember those because of the things that happened in the sports world. And I will remember 2015 because the Royals won the World Series.
Amen, brother.
I married into a Royals family. My wife's family's from Kansas City. My father-in-law is a big Royals fan. He lives there in Kansas City. He came and spent some time with us this year, and it actually worked out really well.
Yeah.
MLB was doing a big sale for the rest of the year package for their MLB TV subscription. It was like $5 or something.
Jeez.
So when he came into town, I bought the package, and we watched baseball, the Royals, for the entire 3 weeks that he was here. And so we got into it. We watched the games. After he went home, it was right in October. It was the stretch run. I watched all those games, the playoff games, and I liked watching the Royals win the World Series. It was fun. It was fun following them. It was fun to get some enjoyment out of baseball since we don't get that much here in Colorado.
It gives us hope.
It does.
It's like you're a Colorado Rockies fan. You married into a Royals fan. And what's worse, married into a Royals family or married into a Buffalo Bills family? Or
Exactly.
Arguably Los Angeles Clippers. But, it's all the same thing.
Right.
But for them to win, it just gives us a little bit of hope. And I was there, and, you see the Rockies players that have gone on to win World Series. Juan Pierre, Nefi Perez, Matt Holliday, obviously. All these people. Mike Hampton went to the World Series, didn't win, but, man, like all these guys that have been on the team and won, and the Rockies, it gives you a thing. If the Rockies do it right, then maybe they can win.
Yeah, you have to understand how bad the Royals were for so long. Terrible.
Hal McRae.
Like the worst team in the league for so long.
They were not as bad as the Philadelphia 76ers the past 5 years, but pretty close.
But really bad. Since they won in the early 80s, they've been really, really bad. And for them to win, it brings a little hope. Plus, they had a Colorado kid on their team, Luke Hochevar, which was cool to watch him win the World Series. So that was how I will remember my number 5, 2015 thing. I'll remember.
Nice.
The Royals won the World Series in 2015.
Very cool. All right, so looking through my list and kind of looking back at 2015 in a nutshell, it was kind of a junky year. Like I don't know what it was about it. Like there wasn't anything major that happened personally for me that would make 2015 memorable. But there's just like a lot of world events that happened that made 2015 just kind of really crappy, at least in my book. But hopefully my list, I tried to make my list as positive as I could because it was really easy to like dig through year in review lists and be like, oh, that's right, that shooting happened, and oh yeah, that terrorist activity happened. So, so hopefully my list won't reflect that too much, but I just want to get that off my chest. Okay, number 5. Oh, well, okay, I'm not starting off very strong here, but my number 5 is...
That being said,
right, is Bill Cosby's Fall from Grace.
Oh.
Don't worry, the rest of my list gets better, I promise.
Let's talk about Martin Sheen's lawsuits. Sorry, Charlie Sheen's lawsuit, Martin Sheen.
Right,
Yeah,
Charlie
Martin
Sheen.
Sheen, too.
Yeah, Martin Sheen, he probably not nearly as
was
many
a high-
lawsuits as Charlie Sheen, but
He doesn't
whatever.
live what they call a high-risk lifestyle anymore.
So yeah, watching Bill Cosby go from the Jell-O guy and the main person on the Cosby Show to massive
The roofie guy.
porn bag. Yeah, it's like that was really sad, but it was such a huge story in 2015, and it took up so much time, and still is taking some time. Where folks are coming up and they're still finding evidence and people that he's roofied and all that nonsense.
He still
So-
does shows too,
I know he still does shows, and
which is making money. A lot.
cities are boycotting him and banning his shows and all that stuff, but he's still touring. So I don't know. That was just kind of one of those things in 2015. You're like, I would much rather have heard of like some massive celebrity like passing away in like a morbid sense than watching Bill Cosby just plummet from Mount Olympus, or just face first into.
I think Bob Saget takes his place.
Yeah, but Bob Saget like puts it out in the open
That's true.
that he's
He's a
disgusting.
man. Well, he went on. He did the movie. He did that one movie. Well, obviously, I don't want to quote what he said, but
Right.
he went kind of opposite to America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yes.
Full House.
Full House.
role, but and he did the Aristocrats movie, which was and anyway, so yeah, Bob Saget, he played both sides of the aisle. Bill Cosby tried to keep that one thing.
Yep.
And just like Jared from Subway,
Of course.
Oh yeah, Jared from
Bill
Subway.
Cosby's still walking the streets, which is cool, which is whatever, but
Yet another reason why 2015 was terrible. So there you go. That's my number. That's my number 5.
I did see on a website, a shopping website. You know how the Bill Cosby sweaters. You can buy Bill Cosby sweaters.
yeah.
They're not called Bill Cosby sweaters anymore. They're called Steve Harvey sweaters.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
I was like, that's a Bill Cosby sweater. Nope, not anymore.
Steve Harvey sweater.
Steve Harvey
He
sweater.
hosts Family Feud.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
there you go.
Do you ever watch the clips on like the Facebook clips on Family Feud? People saying weird things.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I get on that.
He is the best host.
He
so
is the
far.
best
I love
host.
that guy, man. He's
First
funny.
of all, hold on.
Yeah.
The drunken guy that used to do it a million years ago was the best because he would, he's Harry Carey on a game show.
Right.
That's why I can't remember his name. And then Louis Anderson
Louis Anderson
was
was funny.
disinterested,
That was-
but he
yeah.
was funny.
It was.
But
Steve
Steve Harvey. No, he's good. I like they try to do the like celebrity Family Feud, and Gronk like steals the show just like he does everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was pretty funny though. But all right, I give it up to you. Steve Harvey's good, but I just wanted to throw some Louis Anderson in. I can't remember the first one. That guy was drunk and he would be like leaning against the thing because he couldn't stand up.
Yeah, I know exactly who. I can't remember the
the
guy's
stick
name
mic
either.
guy.
Is
Stick
it
mic
Ray?
guy.
Yeah. Is it Ray? No, I don't know. Go ahead.
If you know, let us know at Rank 'em Up
Yeah.
on Twitter. Number 4, Don.
Number 4. All right. This is my only political one, I promise. And by the way, 2015, the year before the election year, is always the best politically because you get the fringe candidates. You get the people that are halfway serious, the people that might want to ruin the election because they want to go third party. Ralph Nader. Whatever. Just Ross Perot.
Did you just laugh at your own joke?
I know. I did. I like laughing at it. That's why I say it. That's why I say it because it's funny to me. So it's a year before the year of the election. So that would be this year. Obviously, we have a presidential election next November. So and some of the, I don't know. If I could just say, I try to boil it down just to one. The first Democratic debate when a guy who was Republican and he switched over recently just so he could have a chance to be a Democrat. That guy made me laugh. He was a general in the military, and he goes to the Democratic debate, and he dropped out 2 days later. And I don't remember his name. That's how good his appearance was. But Donald Trump still being in the race, and as of we're recording a little early, but as of this, he will still be in it because he's going to be in it until March, at least, if he doesn't win the nomination, which will be very interesting. But Donald Trump, Make America Great campaign, that's going to be a 2015 thing, and whatever your politics are, it's hilarious. If you kind of look at both sides and truly to have perspective on your side, you have to look at both sides. You have to look at the entire story. Just like the movie, I'm going to forget his, Rashomon or whatever, Rashomon. There's 3 sides of the story, your side, his side, and the truth. but I like watching all of it. Today, for instance, Donald Trump got in an argument with Joe Scarborough because he didn't like the questions he was asking him, and he's like, well, and Joe Scarborough said, well, all due respect, but you're a presidential candidate. You have to take the questions, and that's how this works. And he said, fine, I'm not going to be on the show. And they went to commercial, and they brought him back because his people told him, you had to do the interview. So, I mean, it's just like that. But you can go down for everyone. Hillary Clinton.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite Hillary Clinton moment is, I remember this vividly from when I was a kid. She was politicking to be the senator of New York at the time. And a homeless guy comes up, and they get this photo op. And the homeless guy's like, hey, man, can I have $1 or some food? And she's like, I can't give you that, but I will give you my campaign brochure.
Oh, my gosh.
The homeless guy is like looking at her like, what the heck just happened? Like, that's not. First of all, do you think he's registered to vote in New York, Hillary? Like, you did the wrong thing there. Wasn't as bad as Howard Dean's speech, although I argue that was a good speech until the end. Until the very end. It was good because he had those people rocking more than Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. Those people were on the Howard Dean bandwagon until, and then...
They went with him on that, though. They went with him on... Yeah!
And then Rush Limbaugh. See, that was the very beginning of the internet. That was like that was like one of the first viral things that, man, the internet turned against him, and that was it. Yep. And that happens every day now. So
made for a good soundbite.
And we do a political station here, so we get a lot more perspective than most people. So that's going to be in mind. Whatever your politics are, I don't care. Whatever, vote whatever way you want to. But one of the highlights of this year is watching Donald Trump, try to be presidential. There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you. After being carless for about 2.5 years. I have created a couple hashtags. You may remember me for Old People Sunday on Twitter. Look it up, hashtag Old People Sundays.
Old People Sunday.
I also created hashtag Berto Bus Adventures, which have been alive for about 2.5 years.
Lilo, what is your hashtag for the bus, for the public transportation?
Yeah, so the train one that I use is the hashtag Train Adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Quebeto, guys, I get both of those, and I crack up every time.
Yeah, I actually need to start posting mine on Twitter.
You
but
should.
I use a lot of words, so 140 characters is very limiting.
That's all right. Do you use pictures?
Sometimes.
Awesome.
Sometimes.
It's harder for him to get pictures because there's so many people.
Yeah, because people are watching. Everybody's watching.
Usually mine were at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
4
Right.
in the morning, so it was easier for me to get a couple pictures. Sometimes I just make fun of my own dad, but when he used to ride the bus with me. So
I love your dad. How's your dad?
He is doing well.
Great.
He's happy. So after being carless for about 2.5 years, many Berto Bus adventures, working 2 jobs, the achievement of this was what finally crossed me into being fully independent. And I finally got my own car. This is what also 2015 will remind me of, like that 2.5 years of cleansing of many things.
Yeah.
This is when I start living again. So
La
Nice.
Mazda.
yes, so
You got your wheels back.
I got my wheels back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's a 8-cylinder. That thing's a beast, man. I think
Holy
Quebeto
cow.
can race that around town.
I can, but I don't. And and it's good on gas. Believe it or not,
that's amazing.
Really?
it really is.
Wow.
All right.
There you go.
I would never have guessed an 8-cylinder car
Yeah,
to be.
with-
Good on gas.
It's really good on gas.
all right.
Well done, you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you.
I'm especially happy for that.
Thank you.
So I already said that I equate my years with sports. So I'm going to give you another one. And this one, I don't know if you know this about me. This is my number 4. I am a big soccer fan, and I really like our local team, the Rapids. You could say I'm a Rapids fan. I love the team. But this year was the year of the Pablo Stash and the Rapids tanking on the field and as a franchise, which really broke my heart this year. I've supported the team since its inception in '96. I've followed it through the bad years. Mostly all bad years.
Oh.
Actually, pretty much all bad years. But there was one glimmer of hope in the fall of 2010 when they when they got hot in the playoffs and won the cup, which was awesome, and it was one of the greatest sporting moments of my life that I did not participate in. It was fun, but this year was really sad because it just seems like all hope and all fun was lost off of the team. It seems like a lot of people, a lot of old-time fans that I was with, a lot of people that I've been connected with through the Rapids have kind of given up on the team, have kind of found other things to do just because the way this team has been put together the last few years. And it really came to a culmination this year. It just is really bad on the field. And there's really no hope for it. It's kind of a hopeless situation with the Rapids. And when their biggest marketing thing was the coach's mustache this year,
Yes.
it really hit a low point. It really hit a low point.
Yeah.
And so I will remember 2015.
And by the way, he came out in the preseason with it, and then they had it. I mean, it had to be 3 weeks later, and you're not getting your shipment from China in 3 weeks.
Right.
This thing had to be pre-planned, and then when they stumbled out of the gate, and then obviously went downhill from there, he shaved that real quick, and then it was.
They made mustache cutouts for
Yeah.
kids to put up and hand out at games and stuff.
Jeez.
We should have been focusing on coaching and developing our young talent that we just sold all away. They all left, by the way, and whatever.
I know we don't talk a lot of sports on this show, but in my personal life, I follow sports quite heavily, and I know Don does, and Berto loves the Rapids. We all three of us here do, and it kind of we used to talk about them quite a bit. We used to have shows about them. We used to have podcasts.
Yes, we did.
You know how hard it is to do a podcast when your team loses every week, and you try to bring a little positive, but then it always turns.
It always spirals.
every time.
Yes.
There's nothing good, and then you start doing skits about going to the board and them laughing at you. And then we got the guy who used to be Rapid Man in trouble because we said we know where Rapid Man is.
That's true.
Oh gosh.
We did. That happened.
I've done a Rapid show. For the last few years, and this year I kind of gave it up because it's just not fun anymore. There's not anything fun to talk about. So,
and really, the best part is the tailgate before the game. But it's I can just go there and give them $5 and do whatever, and then leave, and pretty soon hit the light rail and go downtown.
Yeah,
and not even worry about going to the game, but. Whatever.
My sad number 4 is Pablo Stash and the Rapids tanking. Number 4.
Moment of silence.
Oh.
Yeah, sad.
What is the plan? I just need to know the plan. Because if you're not telling me the plan. And by the way, Carlos Vela, yes, we'll have him. But what are we going to do? The same thing we got Torres is not care anymore?
Don, the problem is that there is no plan.
I know, exactly. Because they say, first of all, they contradict themselves squarely when they say, we're going to be attacking youthful football, and then Pablo plays all the old guys, including Nick LaBraca, who is free agent.
And 7
Please
defensive
go
mids.
somewhere else.
7
Please go
defensive midfielders. Yes.
Drew Moore, I love you. Go to Dallas and hang out with Pereira, please. You guys will win the cup next year. I love you, Drew Moore, captain. Please leave. That's the point. We are almost Redskins fans without a horrible owner, although we don't. He doesn't get enough bad press as Daniel Snyder does. But whatever, man. So I'm sorry, Craig. You brought it up, and I haven't been able because it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to do a Rapids podcast when they lose every game and we finish in last place and we should be relegated.
Right.
Relegation would help.
It's kind of at the point where you want the best players on the Rapids to go somewhere else to have success.
Yes.
You want to because you invested in them. You have some attachment to them. You want to see them do well. Anybody with a modicum of talent on this team, I would like them to go overseas, go be better.
Yes.
Right.
You're not going to do it here. Go be better somewhere else.
The best name that you can get for the Rapids is Shane O'Neill doing well in Cyprus, moving up to France or England or wherever.
Wasn't it Belgium where he went
He's
to?
Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium,
yeah.
sorry. So he's in Belgium, do well in Belgium, move up, get in a bigger league, and saying, hey, where did he develop? Rapids.
Yep.
Dylan Cerna probably never going to leave, which is cool, but whatever. Who else left? Oh, Deshaun Brown, although, whatever. So, and whatever. So there you go.
It's sad. It brings a tear to my heart because I love the team, and they suck right now.
What are we known as? 2010 Cup winners and laughing stock because whatever. So
Yeah, we got lucky for a few months. That's about it. All right, Lilo. Save me.
Okay,
Save
so
We're on number 4. We're on number 4.
after that, wallow through
That was
sad town.
Yeah.
That was sad. And you know, I don't follow soccer as closely as the rest of the guys, but I do know enough that the Rapids are not very good. So, okay, so my number 4. So this is actually the one like real personal thing. So, and this is gonna get. If this starts to get mushy, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Well, just
no.
wait
Not
till
what
mine.
I'm-
My next one is going to be.
That's not what I was
No bueno.
going for.
Where's the Kleenex?
Right. So my number 4 is actually this podcast. So, there was, I know, guys. I know we're hugging it out right now.
Cuberto, you need more tissues in here.
So, so this podcast has actually been really cool. So, I am an extrovert by nature. And I've wanted to do like something that gets kind of broadcast out farther than like my narrow little scope in Colorado. And for a long time I wanted to do like YouTube videos, but I was like, I don't know really how to even approach that or how to start a YouTube video and get that out there and around. So when Craig came up and asked me to do the podcast with him, I was like, yeah, let's do this. I think that's going to be an awesome idea. So when we started the podcast, I just came into it with an open mind, and I like talking about stuff, and y'all are my friends, so it's like, why not? This is going to be a good time. So yes, this podcast was a highlight of 2015, and that's what I will remember. One of the things that I will remember 2015 with and by. So there you go, guys. I'm sorry, it was you, guys.
Keep those snot rakes close because so this year started out and I had known my grandfather was sick and he was well into his 90s, and my dad had a reoccurrence of cancer. So I knew when this year started out it wasn't going to be a good year. They both were basically given 3 to 6 months to live around January 1st. So those last couple months and last Christmas, and I'm so lucky that I got to see my grandfather, and obviously he was going downhill. My dad wasn't doing as well. I got to hang out with them for the holidays last year, and I made many trips, and I appreciate the bosses at both jobs because they, workplaces run lean now. That's just the nature of business, and a lot of guys had to fill in for me, Craig, Cuberto, everybody. So, and I really appreciate you doing that. And while I attended, and it's tough enough to have one, but the two big male figures in my life, my dad and my grandfather, both passed away in March within 2 weeks of each other, and it's sad to say that this is, but it's just the truth. Is that's what 2015 is going to be for me is losing those male role models, and it sucks, but I got to take what I learned from them and turn that into a positive and make my life turn out as good as their lives did, or better. Although it was hard because my grandfather was a World War II veteran, had kids. They all graduated college. Most of them got masters or PhDs, and they all have large, very prestigious jobs around the country. And I'm just a schlub at a radio station in Denver. But
We love you.
yeah, so it's just that, man. It's like family change, and just take your precious moments, man, because Christmas is for memories. New Year's Eve, probably since you were younger and adult, you probably don't hang out with your peeps so much. At least I don't, and I don't know many people like it's more friends. But take those because you don't know if you're gonna have another one. And yeah, well, I would give to have both my dad and my grandpa back this year. But you know what? Things change, people move, time goes on. You can only take their memories and do good things from that. And I appreciate the time I had with them. Obviously, I didn't get as much time as my dad as he did with his dad, but I'll take the positives. And man, just as far as like end of life things go, and I am married to a social worker who does end of life planning for people. Make sure you do your will. Make sure you do your living will. Make sure you, in good mind and in good faith before people get dementia, do it when you're not quite old enough to not remember what's going on, because that'll save a lot of time and heartache for your family. And that's just a public service announcement because people fight over things, and and sometimes it's from the person you least expect it. But I'm gonna do my best to honor the memory of my dad and my grandfather. We were talking in the last episode that my dad liked Mannheim Steamroller and Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I'm pretty sure that him and Craig were at the same show a couple years ago, which is very interesting to me. But people like what they like, people do what they do. But you know what? Make more memories with your family because they might not be here for that long, or you don't exactly know how long they're going to be here for. And there you go, man. There you go. Now, Kiberto,
You're here.
if you can mop up the tears.
That's a good rank 'em up resolution too.
Oh, man.
To spend more time
There you go.
and to make better segues.
That's right.
Back to you, Berto.
Oh,
right?
geez.
Well, speaking of family, so this year was very interesting when it comes to my family. My mom moved to town, but I've always had this kind of rocky relationship with her. Unfortunately. But at the same time, my family, my nieces, my brother, including my brother and my sisters, we've all been closer, I think, than we've ever have. We've been in contact, or we've stayed in touch every week now. At least twice a week, where we either FaceTime or we text message or we give each other a phone call, even Snapchat. We do that.
Really?
Seriously.
guys-
No funny business, huh?
No,
Fascinating.
So,
You guys are really close.
so this year has been the year where my family, we had Thanksgiving, as a family. With my sister in Longmont, and my sister from California my sisters from California came to visit during the summer, and we had
Shout out to Ellie.
a picnic at the around the lake. So it was it was different, and it was stuff that we never thought we'd be able to do. So we created some memories, and I hope that this next year we keep creating these memories, and we make them even more special. So. Yes, 2015 was a year of family also.
A year of family.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm not going to cheer the crew up a little bit. I'm not going to do that in this one. Number 3, unfortunately, we have to bring this up, or I do, on my list, because 2015 I will remember for terrorist events. Paris, San Bernardino. There was a lot of... and continue to be a lot of conflict in the world, and we pray for peace every night. We continue to do that in my family. If you're of the praying type, I would ask you to do the same, because our world needs it, and there's some conflicts that it looks like, even though we've seen some bad things in Paris and in San Bernardino, it looks like that may just be the start of it, and we're in need of peace and of understanding between cultures and people. And in this year, we didn't really have that very often, and there were some bad things that happened all over the world, not just those 2 specific events. I mean, there were mass killings all over the place, and
Russia or Egypt shooting down the Russian plane, Turkey shooting down the Russian fighter, for all that kind of stuff, man. People are just there's tension building.
It doesn't look good, and I'm hoping that our new leader of our country, whoever that may be, and even before the election, our current leader, I pray for them, and I pray that that this country would take the forefront and do something and try and help that situation out. So I will remember 2015 for specifically Paris, because that was a game changer. The way that happened.
It really was.
Yeah.
I think that what we should hang on to regarding to yours, Craig, is there is some positive stories, like the heroes that grab the pregnant woman or lowered her down, falling out of the thing, and then the guy who did that was actually held hostage even longer. One of the shooters pistol whipped him basically, and just held a gun to his head, like, what are you doing? But we got to think of those people that in the fight or flight response that fights. And sometimes they lose their life, like the guys in Pennsylvania on the I think it's Flight 93. I'm not sure, but we got to think about those positives and if it is the new Crusades, kind of, if maybe that's what those bad people, quote unquote bad people, want it to be. The United States, I'm sure, will step up, because the first thing I tell people when I saw 9/11, that was basically when I decided to enlist. And I did, and even though I didn't fight, and I trained people, and I got the same exact feeling when I saw the Paris people do that, maybe it was the loss of life, maybe it was the coverage of the media, and like all these kind of things, and it just makes you angry, man. Like, what? People are just at a concert. The people in New York were just working. The people, in Colorado Springs, whatever that guy wanted to do, all that stuff. San Bernardino, it was a Christmas party.
Yeah, that sucks that that's a new way that
Yeah.
that kind of stuff happens. It used to be on the battlefield, on that kind of stuff. It really stinks now that that's kind of the way that happens, and I don't like it, and I don't think anybody does. But that's what I'll remember. And you're right, we have to remember the heroes that in the moment that save lives, and that the good stories about that too. You're right, there is good in all of it, and the humanity of people comes out at times like that. But from a major perspective, 2015, I'll remember Paris, San Bernardino, and terror in general becoming more often and more consistent.
Yeah, that I can definitely agree with that, and that's why I started the show with 2015 kind of sucked. So
Yeah,
it was a brutal year, to say the least. So, okay.
Your number 3.
My number 3 is a little bit more uplifting than terror attacks. My number 3 was Pope Francis's visit to the Philippines. So one thing that you kind of have to understand about the Filipino people is that, one, we're really, really nice. And people will tell you that. I'm not just tooting my own horn, but Filipinos are generally nice people.
You're a nice guy, Lilo. Don't sell
Thanks.
yourself short.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate
what about
it.
Mr. Khan in King of the Hill?
Uh,
No, he was from
think it was
Laos.
Vietnam.
He was from
Yeah,
Laos.
I think he was from Laos. I don't think-
Laos. That was, I don't know, I'm just joking.
uh,
I was just trying to lighten up the mood a little.
yeah, appreciate it, man. I can dig it. So Filipino people are incredibly nice, and they're incredibly Catholic. With like a 95% or 98% of the total population as being Roman Catholic, and there's a small section down south of the Philippines that are Muslim. But when the Pope came and visited the Philippines, it was just incredible, because I got to see from my cousins and family out there's perspective just the sheer amount of joy and happiness that just kind of overtook the entire country, because they had also just been struck by a massive typhoon. Like, I don't know,
Dang.
maybe
Oh, yeah.
weeks or something right before that. And there was just massive devastation. And I mean, the Philippines does kind of sit directly in that alley. Like the United States has Tornado Alley, right? The Asia, I believe, has like a Typhoon Alley. So like, there's just a massive
That might be
amount
worse.
of right. I think that would be not so way worse. But it was just really cool to see, because I mean, Pope Francis is an incredible pope, probably my favorite outside of John Paul II.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yep.
That's Craig's favorite. Craig, that's all he talked
I
about. Was
mean, he did bring down communism.
his boy.
he did.
man.
I mean,
I argue that
right.
Rocky IV had
John
a
Paul the
bigger
Great.
impact.
Right.
This guy.
Rocky IV.
Hey,
I will
man.
crush you.
Ivan Drago, we took down Ivan Drago. They cheated. Obviously, that was like the East Germany, Russia kind of thing.
Right.
I don't want to debate it, but you know what? We'll just say let bygones be bygones and agree to disagree on that.
He's not Rocky the Great. It's John Paul the Great.
John Paul, right. But
Man.
yeah, it was just really
I'm not going to win this argument with 3 Catholics in my presence.
right.
I'm Catholic also.
Okay.
You're going to argue with yourself?
No,
Right. That would be awkward on the podcast.
sometimes. I mean, that's if I want to do a podcast by myself, then yes, I could do that.
Right. So yeah, it was good, because I mean, he just brought a lot of joy, and it just reinvigorated a lot of Catholicism in the Philippines, and yeah, it was just really great to see all that stuff happen, especially after, or like, in the midst of such crazy natural disasters going on there. So yeah, there you go.
If we did top 5 popes, show. I'd be all in on that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
you'd have to get her.
It's true.
for me.
I'd have to break out a lot of encyclopedias, but
Oh, I could do it right now.
No, hold on. Top 5 non-Italian popes.
We could do that.
Dang it.
I would really have to get the encyclopedias out for that one. Me and Google would be really good friends at that point.
All right. All right. So obviously, and you knew this topic was going to come up. It already came up once today. And I wish everybody Happy New Year, including the people that play Destiny. Because, look, as I explained in number 3, when you have big changes in your life, or, things happen, sometimes, it was more of a series of events. My dad passed away on the 12th of March. My grandfather passed away on the 29th of March, basically. I was getting ready to come back to work the next day on Sunday, and I was driving around my cousin, driving her back to the airport, and my other cousin called me. Oh, man. So I had to go back. I had to go all the way back to Santa Fe. And like I said, I appreciate very much for giving me the time off and filling in for me and everything. And I know that it was a major pain in the butt for you, for that to happen. And it sucks, and that was just circumstances. But, I did have some free time because you can't just sit and cry, for 2 weeks. And, we had to take care of the estate, and we had issues with that and all that stuff. So, but I did have a lot of downtime when anybody's family, you love them, you want to hang out all day with them, that's why you have a significant other. So I did get some Destiny time in, and that's really when I started playing Destiny is, when my dad got real sick and decided to get my mind off of it. So, I was a day one player. I bought it and I picked it up on day one. I downloaded it to my PS4, and I played a little bit, but I didn't really play until the first of the year in 2015. And since then, probably a month ago, I hit 1,000 hours, and me and Craig and I calculated, and it was about 2 hours a day. But I did not play 2 hours every day. There was probably a lot of 8-hour, 10-hour sessions in there, but Destiny kind of it took my mind off things because of obvious reasons, and I just kept progressing, and it was the first kind of MMO game I've ever played, and it was also a first-person shooter. And when you go to the LFG site and you get pickup groups, you can find mature people to play with that will let you play with them. And you know what? I didn't have to tell them my whole problems. We could just sit back and, have fun and do what we wanted to do. So that's really the reason why I got so into Destiny. And I eschewed the Rocky season because, they weren't doing that good, so I wasn't paying attention to that. And there you go, man. 1,000 hours in basically a year. And I don't think I'm going to play it that much next year unless something happens, but there it is, man. Destiny, and it would always be associated with 2015. It would always be associated with me, getting my mind off and focusing on something else while I was in such traumatic events. And there you go, man. That's me and Destiny, and I'm probably 2 weeks away from getting the Destiny tattoo at this point.
I was going to say before that I don't feel like I can make fun of you as much anymore. But, but now you crossed the line.
Right. But then you just went back into make fun of territory.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I have no tattoos, by the way. Caberto, I heard you have a tattoo.
I have a Rapids tattoo. Yes, I do. So does Craig.
Yeah, Craig's is large.
That was a segue
so
to you, Caberto. That was a segue
sad.
directly to Caberto.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
And he segued directly to Craig.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is not his turn.
But
It's not my turn.
Okay, well, so 2015, like I said, a lot happened. So much happened to me, including, like I said, it was a year of decisions, which tested everything I've learned. Everything, every single aspect of
Became
my
a man.
character. Yes, sir. It was, where radio doesn't pay much. As you guys know.
I tell people the only thing the radio does is not pay. That's what it does.
Right.
Pretty much. So I've been working in radio for 8 years, and I haven't had the opportunity of finally, calling myself independent. I finally got my own place, my own place. And it was beginning, to where I started, seeing the horizon, when I started seeing, the perspective, a clearer perspective of my life. So, I got my own place. And that's what the car is what got me into being fully independent Berto. But getting my own place was just a huge breath of fresh air to my life. So there you go.
It's the year of Berto, 2015.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
2015.
Summer of Berto.
Yeah.
So Craig, I heard you have a tattoo.
So, Craig, I heard you're independent.
You're learning, Berto.
Thank
You're
you.
learning.
We're
Thank
making
you.
better segues in the upcoming year. That's our Rapids. That's our, I don't know, what show is this? Rank 'em Up.
Burgundy
Yeah.
State.
Something like that. All right, my number 2 is something that started this year, and it happens to be this show.
Dang.
I am very thankful for this show. Like I said, I've done a podcast or a show in some form or the other for the last, I think it's been around 10 years.
Jeez, really?
And this is the latest iteration, and this is the most fun I've had doing it. There were times in the past where I've done shows on location at the Rapid Stadium, which was awesome with the crowd and everything. That was cool. I've done shows from bars, which was fun.
Shows and bars are fun.
They are
They're-
fun, but
they're
they're
my
loud
favorite.
and they're hard to set up.
That is true.
Yep.
But
True story.
and you never know where the plugs are.
You never know when a drunk girl's going to come up and stare at you when you're talking about the Rapid or the Rockies closer situation.
This is
You'll be
true.
like, "Hey, you on the radio?" Yeah. And you got a motion like, "Get this chick out of here."
Yeah, it's the public, really. But
Public is the best.
this has been the most fun I've had doing a show, and I thank you guys for doing it, for saying yes, for coming along with the vision that I originally had and that I shared with Don early on, and we thought we could go ahead and we could make that happen, and we could do it. And we have an eclectic crew enough to be able to have differences in our opinions and variances in our lists, which is awesome. Because it would be boring if we all had Honey Nut Cheerios for our cereals.
Right, yes.
I mean, I think we have a great crew, and the way that we have put this together, I really enjoy listening to the show. I hope you guys do at home. But I know for my own personal listening pleasure, I like our show.
You're right.
Me too.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
me
do too.
I go
So-
back and listen to the Chocolate Candy show. I believe that was the first 7 episodes, within the first 7 episodes. And
Yes.
the caramel peanut butter debate will last forever, even though it's already been settled by everybody, but it will last forever.
It's
will
been
rage
settled
on.
that caramel is way better.
I send Craig pictures of the Reese's peanut butter cup guy in the bathtub just because sometimes.
I think my wife thinks it's funny too because she
Yeah.
posts peanut butter recipes to my Facebook wall all the time. I'm like, and I just reply, no.
Team BB.
That's all I do.
What are you doing?
No.
Team BB, Gina.
I
Thank
don't know.
you.
I don't know. Anyway, this show has been fun. I love putting it together, and thank you guys.
Yeah.
That's my number 2.
Thank you, Craig. Awesome.
Rank 'em up.
All right. So continuing with the levity of our newfound section of the show. So okay. Spoiler alerts is how I'm going to put this one. So if any of you out there are Game of Thrones fans and are not caught up with the show, or 2 on the books or something.
I'm on the books. That's why I'm taking my headphones off.
Okay. So I'm on the show, and there was one particular episode that,
He's not dead. He's not dead.
and that particular moment was so shocking
Yeah.
that any actual Game of Thrones fan listening will know exactly what
Yeah.
we're talking about. But it was so shocking and it was so jarring to see because you grow to love this character so much, and you're like, yeah, he's gonna win it all. He's gonna win the Game of Thrones, and then he, gets quote unquote dead because
Allegedly.
right.
You know,
George
what-
R.R. Martin's a
and
punk.
And the Red Wedding was like good. I don't think you could top the Red Wedding.
Right. The Red Wedding was so shocking.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you could top that one either, but then he did. And you're
Yeah,
like,
but if he's not dead, then he didn't top it because he didn't actually kill him. So it's still up in the air.
Yeah,
And this year
the battle
is the
rages
year
on again.
that they go past the books, and George Railroad Martin has actually talked with the producers and saying, well, this is how the story's going to end. So
Yep.
we're going to see the end of the story in the TV show before the books come out.
Yep. So I won't go out and say it directly, but those of you that know exactly what I'm talking about. But that, for some reason, that just defines 2015 because the show Game of Thrones has kind of redefined the way I actually watch TV now. Like I can't just sit and watch a drama show now.
Yeah.
Especially if there's no like outrageous hook at the end of the show. Like I can't sit and watch like I don't know.
Homeland?
Yeah, I can't do Homeland. It has to be like
Ballers?
so shocking. Yeah, I can't do Ballers
Yeah.
either.
No, Homeland was probably...
Yeah, like anything on like network TV, definitely can't watch.
I was mad that J-Lo... Did you see the commercials for J-Lo? They were on the NBC Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm like, why didn't they do that on a cable network where they can cuss and like have adult situation?
Right.
J-Lo's on NBC.
He's
I'm
on
like, nobody's going to
NBC.
watch this.
It's gonna flop. I'm just
Network
yeah.
is for Law and Order and
Yes.
game shows.
Yes. So yep.
Whatever.
I'm just gonna say you put that ahead of Rank 'em Up.
And also Blue Bloods. And also Blue Bloods.
It's kind of messed up.
Although Blue Bloods is a perfect family show. Tom Selleck, Bridget Moynihan, a few Tom Brady, and whatever. So anyway.
Someone's been watching our YouTube suggestions.
All of that.
Right. Right.
Bronco, Craig, what is it called?
That's Good Broncos.
That's Good Broncos.
Yes.
Solid. That's solid.
And that
whatever,
happened before the show, before the podcast came
Oh,
about.
okay.
So.
All right. All right.
Yes, yes.
All right, what number are we on?
Well,
Is
I'm
that number
on,
one?
I'm on number one.
All right, number one.
Honorable mentions. It pleases me to no end that Kobe's old and he's a
Yes.
horrible basketball player.
Yes.
And finally, like now we understand that Kobe will not win more or as many rings as Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
Therefore,
Yes.
that argument automatically ends.
Go away,
And
Kobe.
It really is my sincere hope that the Spurs somehow win this year. If the Nuggets cannot, which they probably can't. Because I want Tim Duncan. If he gets the sixth ring, then really there's no, like, he's not even the greatest player of his, which he's not. Kobe's not the greatest player of the generation. Tim Duncan clearly is.
Yes.
There's no one better at power forward than him, and Kobe Bryant has several players better than him in his position. So it's really Tim Duncan and then everybody else. Although Kobe, he is a great player, he could not win without Shaq or Pau Gasol.
Preach.
Tim Duncan has won
Amen, brother.
in many different generations, and he's been the guy. And I just did a Gino Geraci tick.
It was only the first one where he wasn't the guy,
Yeah.
by the way.
David Robinson was still
Yes, he was
halfway
still the
decent,
guy.
but
Right.
Tim Duncan was, great. And 3 generations he won with. 3 generations.
Mm-hmm.
He had the farthest time between finals victories. But anyway, so Kobe's old.
He won with a French guy and a little Argentinian.
The French. You know what, man? That's just great. Greg Popovich doesn't get enough credit. If they did this in New York, he would be. I mean, if anybody wins in New York, Kristaps Porzingis is the man over there, just because, and he's on my fantasy basketball team, which I'm so excited about. But that's my honorable mention. I'm really glad that Kobe's old and the Lakers are horrible, and somehow the Nuggets are better than the Lakers. And that
Thank
Man.
goodness.
That's pretty high up there,
Kind
man.
of parallel universe will be running in here.
Kibato, you like the Clippers?
No,
I'm
I
still
don't like
mad.
basketball.
I'm still mad. Every time I see Anthony Carter, I'm like, come on, man. Just inbound the ball. Oh,
Why did they let whatever?
And my brother is
Why do they
friends
let him
with him,
do
so
that?
I see him, and I just want to ask him that every time.
Yeah. You have good self control, Craig. All right. Anyway, that's my honorable mention. I just had to get that out there just to get the Lakers fans. By the way, the Celtics have still won more championships than you. Thank you. Number one, obviously, I've told you about all the changes this year, and time goes on, and it's probably one of the greatest lessons that you learn in life. And things change, and you have to accept the change. Like people talk about the Highlands that are not from here, and I said, well, the Highlands are cool, and I'm like, the Highlands used to be the place that I bought alcohol when I was in high school. And I wasn't technically allowed to go there because it was scary town.
Yes.
Exactly. Like when you have the turn to go to Coors Field on 20th Avenue or go towards the barrio over there, and you couldn't go that way. That was not the way to go.
It's still the north side. That's what I call it.
Norte. And
Right.
I'm not calling it
and
Highland.
me
or
and
whatever.
Caberto were driving down
That's the
Federal,
north
and I
side.
saw a chick like wearing jogging gear and stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know this place. I don't even know this place. Anyway, So, and I'm glad, and I've done a couple outlets to get my unique character out there, and whatever crazy rantings that I like to say sometimes. But when Craig approached me to do this show, I was really excited and in. Although I knew I needed to stifle myself from all the way crazy. Although sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work.
We really battle that.
Like going negative on the Christmas show. But, sometimes we need to have a talk before. And that's I totally take responsibility for that. But Rank 'em Up, seriously. And like you say, Craig, we've been a part of things in the past. But this really feels special. And I really love and enjoy being a part of it, and you guys are great friends, and we have a good chemistry, I believe, and I think it's only going to get better. This is show 19, by show 38, by show 50, 52. I think we're gonna be hitting our stride, and it's only going to get better. Rank 'em Up, my number one thing that I remember 2015 for, and there you go, Humberto.
Rank 'em up.
Thank you. Well, Rank 'em Up is sharing my number one. Because
he just made that up.
That's two different subjects. What's an honorable mention? No, you're the only person that didn't put Rank 'em Up in your top 5.
You know what that is?
How dare you?
You know what that is? Somebody comes over to your house, brings you a gift, and you go to the closet. You're like, "Oh, here's your bottle of wine I brought you. I got for you too.
I have
the jacket.
Hey, hold
This
on.
thing that turns your TV into a digital antenna. Wow.
You know what? No, it was in my top 5. Because, and maybe it wasn't written on my tablet, but you know what? But you know what? It is written in my heart.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh, man.
You just ruined it.
You already have a girlfriend. You don't need to get any more.
Hold on, because
Right.
I'm not trying to. You know what?
I know what you're trying to do.
This was, when this project started. It was when my life was starting to look up. This has come with me as as I've been becoming independent Berto, and as I've been trying in living a different life. So Rank 'em Up is part of my number one. I've gotten to know you guys even more, even within the years. I've gotten to get a new friend with Lilo. So, I am thankful with God because of this opportunity as well. So,
what's your real number one?
What's your number one that you wrote down, before today, before
What
the
is
show?
the actual number one?
Yeah.
but I did mean that. But I started a friendship a while ago. This year it evolved from having talks about getting to know each other, then trying harder to achieve more in life, which is where I was encouraged also to push myself to be independent Berto, and showing that I care for a person where I'm at, because I am happy, because I care for, and I am cared for, and I am not stressed out to be in a relationship for once. So I am in a relationship, and that is obviously a huge part of my year of 2015. So there you go.
So you're not independent, Berto.
I am.
You are accounted for, Berto.
Well, there you go. But I am. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't have my own place. I wouldn't have my own car. I wouldn't be encouraged to try and do some research for the show if I didn't have that person that encourages me to do this.
Thanks, Berto.
You're welcome. What? I meant that for real.
You know what? I love you, Letty. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you.
Letty. You are awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
I love you guys.
Even though we weren't on your real number one. Thank
Right.
you.
I told you.
Even though we were an afterthought.
You were written on my heart.
Oh, get out of here. All right, my number one. The only thing that could beat Rank 'em Up this year, I had a blessing that came into my life this year, and I'm not good at remembering dates, and I've told you that this entire time. I don't remember birthdays well. I don't remember anniversaries well, which is one quick story. When I got engaged to my wife, I said, all right, we've got a few choices so that I'm going to be able to remember our anniversary of the day we can get married. We can get married on your birthday, we can get married on Valentine's Day or Christmas. 'Cause I've already got too many dates, and I can't remember them all. Those are your choices. And we came to find a better solution of 080808. So it's one number. I can remember that.
Nice.
So that's my story of how I don't remember dates. But I will always remember 2015 for all the other things that I said, but most especially because I had my second child was born this year. And
It's a good one.
Congratulations.
I'm very happy about that. He's a cool little dude, and I enjoyed it. And that's all I have.
And that's all.
There's
No.
a picture of me holding this baby on the internet somewhere.
Yes.
Oh,
Baby
nice.
Nacho.
He's a sweet little thing, and my wife is a great mom, and I couldn't be more happy that I've had my children with her and that she's a part of our lives and help raising our children. So that's
Nice.
my number one thing from 2015, my little second child to be born.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yes, but rank 'em up it's in my heart.
You can't copy that.
Right.
It's been a fun year. It's been an awesome year, and we can't thank you enough for joining us along the way. All of you from all the different countries that have joined, all the listens, and we're so especially happy to have you. And I thank you for rank 'em up, and I'm just so excited that you joined us along the way. Lilo, you're number one.
All right. My number one is not mushy at all. So I'm just going to say it.
Thank you.
It's the Pluto flyby.
That was pretty awesome.
I think about it.
Yeah.
We were able to launch a satellite into the farthest reaches of our known galaxy, and we took pictures
Yep.
of a planet that had only become a planet not that long ago, only to become not a planet again. And everyone's like, "Oh, it looks like a planet." Duh, it's a planet.
It recently got its planet status back.
It did. I
Did
didn't know
it? Oh,
Yes, it
nice.
It's a planet.
It
Way to
has
go,
moons.
Pluto.
It has moons is a thing. I think that's
Yeah,
why
it
they
has
gave-
like 4.
Yeah.
Has 4 moons.
So they gave
Way
it
to go, Pluto. You rock. You rock 2015. And you also gave us a giant heart.
Yes.
You were like, "Thanks for finding me, guys. Here's my heart."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that's such an incredible statement, and it's such an incredible scientific discovery, or not really discovery, but like scientific achievement. And it really kind of gives me hope that at some point in my life that we will find something that resembles life outside of this little blue orb that we all kind of float around on. So yeah, I think the Mars, good gosh. Epic fails of 2015. The Pluto flyby was probably something that will kind of define 2015 for me, and also rank 'em up as in my heart.
If rank 'em up is in your heart, how can they follow us and interact with us?
Well, you can go to Twitter, and also I need people on Twitter to tell me what full stop means, because I don't exactly get what full stop means. Like, why do we say full stop? Like, is it end of conversation or whatever? Twitter, at Rank 'em Up, RANKEMUP. Go to Facebook, like our page, Rank 'em Up. You can listen to the podcast there. Also, if you're an Android person, good for you. Go to Stitcher. We're on the Stitcher app. And on iTunes, subscribe, and it will automatically download to your podcast app, iTunes, or go to podcasts, and actually that's where you see the new podcasts on iTunes. And, of course, go to YouTube, and you can listen to all of the back episodes, our whole catalog of Rank 'em Up.
Happy New Year to you all. As a resolution, how about you share this show? Give us a subscribe, a follow, a like, all that stuff. Share it with a friend. Thank you for all that you do. Send us your lists. We want to retweet them. We want to laugh at them. We want to interact with you on Twitter and all our other channels to do so. Happy New Year, Lilo. Happy New Year, Don.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Kevberto.
Happy New Year.
We look forward to a great 2016. God bless you all, listeners. This is Rank 'em Up.